Something interesting has just been captured by a local resident in Oregon. The individual who captured the object called 911 and said that they could see a large fireball in the sky, noting that they were worried that it might have been a plane that was having some difficulty. The images were then posted to social media, with various people putting forward their own theories for what it could have been. The 911 call revealed that the individual had taken pictures of the event, with Polk County Sheriff's Office soon arriving on the scene and taking their own photographs. Once officials in Oregon arrived on the scene, they reported that they started looking for a crash site. However, as the investigation continued, it's reported that the sheriff's office, along with locals in the area who turned up to help, couldn't find any evidence that something had crashed. Oddly enough, when investigators started to conduct further research, they reported that no plane was reported missing, but did note that there was a recent meteor shower in the area. The Polk County Sheriff's Office said the following: "That's what it was more likely attributed to, or what was seen. Although we're not 100% sure." End quote. The mysterious object was first seen at around 4:50 in the afternoon, but the sheriff's office said that their helicopter searches turned up nothing. The size of a meteor that NASA or any other space agency can detect depends on a variety of factors, such as the sensitivity of their detection instruments, the distance between the meteor and the Earth, and the speed and trajectory of the meteor. NASA has a program called the Near-Earth Object Observations Program, which is designed to detect, track, and characterize asteroids and comets that could potentially pose a threat to Earth. The program uses a combination of ground-based telescopes and space-based instruments to search for these objects. Generally, NASA and other space agencies can detect meteoroids as small as a few millimeters in size using ground-based telescopes, but they typically focus on detecting larger objects that could potentially pose a threat to Earth, such as those larger than 140 meters or 459 feet in diameter. However, it's worth noting that not all meteors are detected before they enter Earth's atmosphere. Small meteoroids can enter the atmosphere undetected and produce visible meteor trails, also known as shooting stars. These are usually harmless and pose no threat to Earth. Authorities further reported that after several investigations had taken place throughout the area, utilizing helicopters and people on the ground, there was no sign of the fireball, and also no impact site that would help them positively identify what the object was. The sheriff's office posted on its Facebook page and reached out to the public, saying that they did not know the exact location of where this happened. What's strange is that this isn't the first time that one of these strange fireballs has been witnessed in the sky. Oddly enough, other residents have said that while seeing these strange objects, they've also heard mysterious booms and questioned whether jets had been scrambled to investigate whatever these objects are. As many have reported, these strange fireballs have been seen above various countries, and in most of these cases, the strange objects have prompted police to investigate the sighting further. Many have said the same thing, suggesting that the fireball is an aeroplane that was in trouble, but some have disputed this, saying that although planes do fly over most of these regions, a lot of the time one didn't fly over at the specific time that the object was seen. As of right now, people are still speculating as to what these objects are and where they're coming from. The Central Intelligence Agency has recently declassified decades' worth of documents that looked into mysterious aircrafts. This caused excitement among amateur researchers, with them saying that those who've looked into these sightings have known about them for years. There's been approximately 2,700 documents that have been uploaded online, most of which detail the government's involvement with strange aircrafts. Those who've spent years researching this topic have said this is direct proof that the government is interested in this topic, and that it shows they've set aside large budgets to investigate what they are and how they're able to achieve what they do. However, although it seemed as though the Central Intelligence Agency was giving the general public an insight into some of their documents, those who looked into the files were not impressed. Basically, people couldn't read these documents, and in some cases, all of the information had been blacked out. Many comments followed a similar theme, with online users saying what was the point in releasing these documents if you're going to cross out all of the information. The Sheffield Incident. Yorkshire in England isn't known for its abundance of mysterious aircrafts, but in 1997, on the 24th of March, Local police received dozens of calls saying that some sort of aircraft had crashed in the region's lonely moors. The calls mentioned a low-flying plane or aircraft that had passed overhead towards the hills and mountains before disappearing. This was then followed by a bright flash and an explosion that could be heard for miles around. With reports of a crashed air vehicle, the police immediately began a search and rescue mission. A police helicopter, along with the fire service and mountain rescue, searched the area far and wide for any sign of the downed aircraft. Similarly, a local hospital was given notice of potential casualties. Soon after, Air Traffic Control and the Royal Air Force were sent news of the crash by police. Strangely, each of the organizations reported back that they had no missing aircrafts and that no military vehicles were currently flying in the area. This then led to the use of a Royal Air Force Sea King helicopter to assist the police in their search, and yet, after covering 40 square miles with dozens of professionals and high-grade equipment, nothing was found. In response to the lack of any kind of physical debris, the police launched a phone line for reports of a crash site. Almost immediately, the phone line was inundated with callers claiming to have seen military jets, as well as some kind of mysterious aircraft. With so many people reporting similar sightings, the police were forced to increase the scope of their previous search and enlisted even more members of mountain rescue. Similarly, the Royal Air Force cordoned a 10-mile air exclusion zone around Howden Reservoir. Despite these efforts, nothing was recovered, and the search was called off. Yorkshire police were left confused by the lack of evidence and were unsure of how to proceed. Some members of the public claimed the sighting was the cause of a phantom ghost plane. Later in 1997, a police representative said the following: "No explanation was ever found, and we remain open-minded about what was behind the sightings." End quote. In the years following, many theories have been posited in order to uncover what really happened over Sheffield that day. Some claim a cover-up had taken place by the military, who were in pursuit of a mysterious aircraft. The crash, as the theory goes, was caused by a military jet. Since the Royal Air Force exclusion zone was put around the Howden Reservoir, this has led some to believe that the plane crashed into the water, and bodies may have been retrieved during the search. Interestingly, the event was mentioned in the House of Commons on the 23rd of March in 1998. The then Ministry of Defence stated that there had been a low-flying military exercise taking place in that area on the 24th of March of the previous year. Scientists also support this, as the Seismology Department in Edinburgh confirmed that on the 24th of March, 2 sonic booms took place at 9:52 and 6 minutes past 10 in the evening. According to the department, these booms were likely to have been caused by an aircraft travelling at supersonic speeds or space debris burning up in the atmosphere. Still, the Royal Air Force refutes any involvement in the events described by onlookers, specifically because it was illegal to break the sound barrier over the United Kingdom. Likewise, they state that their exclusion zone was not out of the ordinary for routine search and rescue operations, and that they had no record of sonic booms by the Royal Air Force. The facts don't all seem to add up in this case, and the peculiar event that took place over the Yorkshire moors still perplexes many enthusiasts to this day. What exactly did crash near Sheffield in 1997? Many amateur researchers who've looked into this case have said that the Royal Air Force are unlikely to admit that they were involved in this strange event, and suggested that it was likely covered up by officials in the region. One user suggested that a mysterious aircraft was seen above the area, and so the Royal Air Force scrambled a couple of jets to investigate what the object was. This would explain the sonic booms that were heard in the evening. Investigations carried on and said that what most likely happened was a chase between the strange aircraft and the jets, but suggested that perhaps one of the jets malfunctioned and then crashed into the ground. Oddly enough, others who've looked into this case have said that pilots from across the world have reported the same thing, saying that when their jets get close to these objects, they start acting strange, noting that these aircrafts seem to have the ability to turn off the jet's electrics. This has caused some confusion in recent years, as the jets aren't being directly attacked, but are having some of their major functions shut down. As of right now, there's several of these documents that go into detail about mysterious aircrafts. One question that people have when it comes to these events is, why don't governments just be open and honest with the general public? The answer to that question comes down to national security. They've openly admitted that these aircrafts are a national security threat, as they've been observed outmaneuvering their jets and also making their way into restricted airspace. This brings up a variety of different questions. How are they able to do this? How can they outmaneuver our most advanced jets? How do they achieve the speeds they've been observed doing? And ultimately, who do they belong to? As of right now, we can only speculate as to what these objects are, and hope that within the near future, the public will be told more about these mysterious aircrafts. So, what do you make of this strange object? Do you think it's a meteor, or is it something more mysterious? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.